Hey, I'm Tawny from unravelmotherhood.com, and if you're new here, welcome. I hope you will like and subscribe so we can connect here on YouTube. Today I wanted to talk about 4 ways to combat anxiety as a new mom. I think a lot of us, when we first become moms, are really anxious. There's just so many changes and so many things that are happening to us, and it's kind of overwhelming. So today I wanted to share with you my tips for combating that anxiety so that you can have a more peaceful entrance into motherhood, or you can start feeling more peaceful in your motherhood journey. So before I start, I'll share that I'm a mom of 4. One of them is a stepchild, and I recognize the anxiety that comes with becoming a parent, whether it be a stepchild or having a child of your own. It's a complete just life change. You have an identity change, and so it can be a lot, especially with the type of world we live in where we kind of almost know too much, if you know what I mean. So my first tip for combating anxiety as a new mom is to stop comparing yourself to other moms. So it's really easy for us to compare ourselves to other moms, especially if we're on social media, for example Instagram, even Facebook, YouTube. We tend to see the best sides of people when we're on social media. People don't want to show the bad side. Some people are really vulnerable and share their struggles, but still it's painted a certain way. It's how much they want to share, what aspects they want to share. So one of the best ways to stop being so anxious as a mom is to stop comparing yourself to other moms. Sometimes we are comparing ourselves in our heads and we're not really acutely aware that we're comparing ourselves, but we'll just say, oh, I should do this, this person does this. It just can get overwhelming in our head when we have all these ideas of what we're supposed to do and what we're supposed to be, and we're comparing ourselves to someone's completely different life. Somebody might have time to make sourdough bread. This is my 3rd try making sourdough bread because in other times of my life, I was not ready to put forth the energy to drop something else in order to make sourdough bread. I didn't have the mental capacity to figure out this new skill, basically. So if I had let myself get really down on myself and say, this person makes bread, this person makes bread, oh, it would be foolishness, because the reality is every good thing that a parent does is a time where they can't be doing anything else. So if you want to choose certain things and you want to do certain things, by all means, you should go for it. Don't sit there and compare yourself to someone else. Maybe someone makes everything from scratch, they make all their clothes, they do all those things, which is really amazing, but maybe they don't get to read to their kid as much as you do, or maybe they wake up earlier, maybe they don't have time to read or don't have time to pursue other hobbies. So everything that you do is time where you can't spend somewhere else. So figure out what is important to you, and that brings me to my next tip, which is set your priorities for you and your child. So it's easy to get in the game of comparison, but we really need to know what is important to our family. Maybe it sounds like a great idea to start a new thing for your family, and if that is a priority in your family's life, by all means, go ahead and start it. But know that you're going to have to drop something in your life in order to do that. So maybe it looks like spending less time with friends, or having different cleaning routines, preparing meals ahead of time so that you have more time in the afternoon to do whatever you want to do, basically. Set your priorities and your ideas for what is best for your family first, and then all the extras can come after. If you want to start learning crochet, that's great, but it might not be more important than you figuring out a good, healthy meal plan for your family. So just make sure you have your priorities straight. Sometimes we can get them all mixed up because we see someone else's life, or we see other people do things differently, and we kind of get lost in this idea of, if I just did this, I'd be such a better mom. And that's not necessarily true. So just set your priorities for your family, for yourself as a mother. What are priorities for you? Are your priorities that you teach your child scripture? Are your priorities that you play hands-on with your child, crafts? Think about what are the priorities in yours and your child's life, and then go from there. My next tip for combating anxiety as a new mom is to just trust your gut, trust your mom instincts, and worry less about other people's opinions. So we live in this modern world where it's very easy to hear other people's opinions that you don't necessarily care for and you shouldn't really take into consideration. So we live in a society that loves to just tell people what to do. Here I am telling you how to combat anxiety as a new mom. So if you are starting to feel anxious, make sure you are not letting other people's opinions of your choices or what you should do sink too deeply inside. Obviously, if you have a spouse, you should consult with your spouse on what you want to do as a mother. But other than that, you really need to not worry about what they think. There are going to be differences in the way that you sleep your child, the way you potty train your child, the way you teach your child, discipline your child, talk to your child. There's so many different ways to do things, and there's no right way. There's only the way that you are going to do, and that's great. You have to trust what you're doing as a parent is the right decision, and obviously as things change or as you learn new things, you can alter those choices. If you're constantly worrying about the way that you are parenting your child and about what other people think of you, it will reflect in your child. Your child will be confused. Children love familiarity and routine. So even if you decide to parent a different way later down the line, having the peace of mind to know this is what we're doing for now. If it really doesn't work, or if I feel like I need to change it later when I have more information, that's okay. But this is what we're doing now, and we're going to stick to it, and we're going to be confident that our child will know that we love them and care for them. As long as your child is happy and healthy, that should ease most of your worries. That's the biggest thing, is we want happy and healthy kids, and the rest of the stuff is really not going to matter in the long term. No one's going to know that you either breastfed or bottle fed or formula fed or whatever it may be. No one's going to know if you had a C-section or a vaginal birth, or if you had an epidural or not, or if you cloth diapered or if you didn't cloth diaper, or if you ate super healthy or did all these different things. Sure, it might be worth it to do for you, but it's not something to be anxious about. My last tip is to become a new mom. So you don't have to bind yourself to the choices you've made in the past. If you parent a certain way with your first child, or in the first couple of years of your child's life, and you decide to change it, that's okay too. We don't need to make it our whole identity. I think that a lot of these ways of thinking can be really helpful for people to identify and to remember what kind of parent they want to be, but they can be really detrimental when we hold it too tightly that we can't do anything outside of that or grow or change as our child changes. So be okay with becoming a new mom and making changes if you need to. My final tip for combating anxiety as a new mom is to allow yourself to become a new mom. So I think the world of, again, we live in this modern society and we have so much access to different ideas, different perspectives, and sometimes that can cause us to try to label ourselves as a certain type of mom, whether it be a gentle parent, a co-sleeping parent, a cloth diaper parent, any type of kind of group you put yourself in. Sometimes that can prevent us from just being at peace with our decisions as a mom, because we're so bent on making sure we fit into a box when motherhood is complex. It's not as simple as A equals B. There's going to be different strategies, different methods, different choices for different children, different stages of our children's life, of our own lives. And so when we allow ourselves to change into a new mom, to change what we have decided to do, or to do it differently, or to go outside of our normal, and for example, I cloth diaper, and I just posted a cloth diaper video in the previous video, but I have my kid in the disposable right now because I have given myself the rest to know that it is okay if I need a break from cloth diapers. If my laundry is piling up, I have decided that I am just going to put my child in disposables if I have them, and that's okay. And actually my son has a rash right now, and so when I put him in cloth, it tends to aggravate it because it's less absorbent. But anyways, that's for another video. But just allow yourself to be a new mom. You might decide to co-sleep with your first child or to not co-sleep with your first child, and then your second child comes around and co-sleeping just seems like a feasible option. So allow yourself to not be conformed to a certain type of parent, a certain type of mom. We are constantly changing and growing, and that is our hope as moms, is that we continue to grow and learn and change and be okay. If we made a mistake in the past or if we do something differently, it's perfectly fine. It's all part of learning and just growing in our motherhood. So if you're a mom, I hope this video was helpful for you. Let me know in the comments if you have any tips for combating your anxiety as a new mom, or anything that's really resonated with you as you have become a mom or as you grow as a mother. What has helped you to have a peaceful motherhood or a peaceful time parenting your children? I hope that this video was a blessing to you, and if it was, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.